As I rushed over the wagons, goblins jumped at me and dug in their claws. That much pain was bearable, though. I put strength into the hand holding the sword and swung at them. The goblins, who loyally sacrificed themselves to protect the hobgoblin, became mere chunks of meat. As I leaped, I changed my grip to hold the sword in reverse before pushing down. Stab! Were all hobgoblins destined to be impaled on this sword or something? This time, the Zweihander's blade pierced through its neck instead of its head. Slash! As the area I hit was a bit ambiguous, I split it in half by slashing my sword down. Tr. The sword cut through the hobgoblin's body, exiting at the armpit and removing its arm as it did so before scratching over the floor and piercing the bodies of other goblins behind it. At that moment, I released its hilt and removed the goblins and Olgoikorkoi from my body. My HP had decreased quite a bit, allowing the paralytic poison to accumulate in my body to some extent. I was still stable, but things would become pretty dangerous if I were bitten 3 or 4 more times. Throw. I tossed aside the goblins I held and drew my longsword with my left hand. I was still removing those demon scum attached to my arms, legs, and back with my right arm. Keek. But those guys were still alright, even though I had killed the boss. Seeing that the goblins weren't panicking, I narrowed my eyes, realizing what I had missed. With me on the right side of the wagons were now only goblins and Olgoikorkoi, but on the left was one more hobgoblin. I'd failed to examine the battlefield properly. Ugh. Then an NPC fell from a wagon, their ankle bitten by an Olgoikorkoi. TSK. I frowned and clicked my tongue emphatically as I threw my longsword. Since I lacked the throwing skill, its trajectory didn't get corrected. As such, it landed a bit further away than I had aimed for, but it was enough for what I intended. The sword blocked the goblins from approaching the fallen NPC. Pull. Meanwhile, I quickly grabbed my Zweihander and rushed forward. As I continued my massacre, the number of goblins fell drastically, allowing me to charge through the battlefield more easily. Die. I grabbed the tip of my sword's hilt and swung it down from the top, making use of my wide reach. Bang! 2 goblins aiming for the NPC after avoiding my longsword were split in half, right from their heads to their crotches. Hike! Quick, pull him up. Come on, hold on. Hold his arm. The NPC who had just narrowly escaped his death became frightened, and those still on the wagon hurriedly grabbed his arms. After being pulled back up, he immediately fell into the wagon.